Hey guys, good afternoon. This is Tejaswita. Here I am, you can see me, Tejaswitakhidke, MSc MBA, Diploma IDT, and here is my email ID. And basically, I'm a teacher. I passed out in 2015 from Jagannath Rati Vocational Guidance and Training Institute and got the first rank in the Interior Designing Diploma. And today I'm going to teach you. Actually, basically, today I'm going to introduce to you to interior designing. I'm going to give introduction about interior designing. What are the theories? What are the practicals? And whatever the topics I'm going to cover, I'm going to discuss these things in this video. So if you like my video, please do subscribe my channel and hit the like button. So first thing first, we will discuss about the syllabus. We will discuss about the syllabus. As you see, there are three topics in the syllabus. That is construction, then basic material, then theory of interior design. So I'm going to tell you those both of the things, like theory and practicals, both of the things whatever possible for me, I'm going to teach you. So before starting with the practicals, we'll discuss about the theory, because we should be very much clear about the theory aspect so that we can able to do the practicals also, right? So these are the three topics. Basically, these are the three subjects we can say. First is construction, second is basic material, and third is theory of interior designing. And all of these subjects are very important as far as the interior designing is concerned. So as you can see here, construction, which consists of lots of subtopics under there. So we'll go one by one. First is building components. Yeah, you must be aware of all these things, but you may think that we are going to study of interior designing, right? Then why should we need to study? Why should we need to know about building components? But yeah, you should know building components, because building components are the basic things on which the building is standing. Is the base, until and unless you know basics, how you can go for the further things. Interior designing comes later. First, the construction of building comes, building get constructed, then walls get constructed, the structure, you see the structure, and then after the interiors, then after the parts of interior comes into business. So the thing is, you should be knowing the building components, and there are different building components that we are going to study in detail later, and these are foundations, plinth, walls, columns, floors, doors, windows and ventilators, stairs, roof, building finishes, building services. Foundation, you must be knowing foundation, like, right? Footing. First, whenever you are going to construct a building, you need to dug a soil for making foundations first, right? Then the next is plinth, then the wall and columns. Columns are constructed and then walls are constructed. Floors, yeah, floors. Different floors we construct. First floor, second floor, third floor, multi-stored buildings also. So then the doors, windows, and ventilator. These are basically openings of the building. Doors, you know there are different types of doors. Windows, there are again different types of windows, like swing window, openable window, sliding windows, and many more. Ventilators, again there are different types of ventilators. So we are going to study all these one by one. Then the stairs. Stairs are also again different types of stairs are there, like straight, then V shape, Y shapes, coiled, circular, etc. etc. Again, we will discuss in line. We are going to study in detail. Then the roof, there are again sloping roof, flat roof, different types of roof also out there. So we will going to study in detail these also. Then the next is building finishes. Yeah, there are different types of finishes, right? Like plastering, punning, then painting, all these type of finishes. And the last is building services. Building services are like plumbing, sanitation, then electrical, and many more. So we will discuss all these topics later. Then the next is load bearing and frame structure. So as I told you, there is a component called column on which a building stays, which bears a load of building. So there are basically two types of buildings. One is load bearing structure and second is frame structure. Load bearing structure is the structure where the walls bear the load, and the frame structure where there are columns that are bearing the load of the whole structure. The walls and don't need to carry the load of whole building. Walls are carrying loads of their own, and the whole load is on trans- transferred into soil through the columns that comes under the frame structure. Yeah, we will discuss these things also later. Then the next is stone masonry. There are stone masonry, pointing, and brick masonry. As you can see here, there are again different types of masonries, like stone masonry. Again, stone masonry, into the stone masonry there are different types of stones, like random rubble masonry. According to the shape and size of the stones, these are the types of masonries which have been classified according to shapes and style of masonries. Again, the brick masonry, these are against what type of bricks and how you are going to join and how you are going to form a wall out of bricks. There are different techniques. That techniques come under the brick masonry. Then the doors and windows, as I told you, there are different types of opening, doors, windows, and ventilators. So what are the different types of doors, different windows? That things we will cover under this basic components for the doors. What are the materials out of which doors and windows can be made? We'll discuss in later all these things under these topics. Then the flooring, different types of floorings, different types of material have been used for flooring, like wooden flooring, stone flooring, tile flooring, and many more. Then the next is, actually we are going to study in detail everything about it, like how the wooden flooring is going to fix, the procedure, how the tiling is done, everything we are going to study in detail onwards in in next lectures. Then the next is dado tiling. Dado tiling is basically a fixing of tiles on the wall, and that procedure is called as dado tiling. Again, we are going to study the procedure in detail. Then the next is kitchen ota details. Kitchen ota details is the kitchen platform. Basically, everybody is having kitchen in their house and they are working in the kitchen platform. So basically, how the kitchen platform is made, how it constructed, the details of all the platform, verticals and horizontals, and stones or materials used, everything we are going to study here. Everything. Okay. Then the next is wash hand basin platform. Same as that of kitchen platform, we are going to study this. Then the next is fall ceiling and punning. This comes under the finishes, fall ceiling. Basically, a fall ceiling means a ceiling which is constructed below the original ceiling. That is called as fall ceiling. The name itself indicates what it means. Then the next is carpentry joint. As you are going to study about interior designing, you should be very clear with the carpentry joint, because wooden work, timber work, carpentry work comes under the interior designing, and most of the part is carpentry work. So you should be knowing all the carpentry joints. For that, we are going to study these under this topic next in later next lectures. Then the fabrication, like fabrication, construction of stairs or windows or all the steel parts which comes under fabrication, we are going to study steels. There are different types of metals. Then steel reinforce, for reinforcements we need the steel, right? So for that we should be knowing the fabrication stuff, right? So we are studying that under fabrication topic. Then the next is ramps and slopes. So basically ramps and slopes, what are the ratios, what are the basic ratios, how the slopes are, how the ramps are. Only basic things we are going to cover. We are not going into detail in this topic as we don't need it. We are not going to construct all these things, but yeah, we should know all these things. Then the next is basic material. Basic material, what we are going to study in basic materials are following topics. These are stones, bricks, timber, metal, glass, paints, electrification, plumbing and sanitation, air conditioning, and security system. So the stones, there are different types of stones out there. They are found in nature, like igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, then sedimented rocks. So according to their forms and their properties, we are going to study all the uses of that, their advantages, where it can be used, where it cannot be used. There are different, for example, if we take a granite is an example of igneous rock which we use as making for kitchen platform, kadapa and granite. We all be knowing that we are using that in making platforms. Again, there are tremendous examples we will be studying in detail later. Then the bricks again, there are different types of brick, like unburned brick, burnt brick, and there are sizes, there are standard sizes which are used. We are going to cover all these topic in detail in next lectures. Then the timber, what it comes from, all it comes from the wood, what it comes from trees. There are different types of trees like teakwood teakwood tree or devdar or different types of bamboo bamboo. There are different types of trees out there. Sorry for that. There are different types of trees according to which we get the wood, and according to their uses we use them. Then again, the type of plywood, the procedure of making plywood, then procedure of making veneers, then different types of finishing materials like laminates and hardwares. We are going to study everything in detail in next lecture. Then again, the next topic is metals. As you can see here, metal is very important topic. As we see, for making stairs we need steels, then copper and aluminum we need for electrification and wiring. Then again, for our utensils are also made up of these steels, stainless steel, and many more screws, everything, hardware, everything is made up of metals. So many things. So we need to study about metals also, properties of metal, and their advantages, disadvantages, their uses, where it can be used, different things. Everything we are going to cover in this topic, metal. Then the next is glass. So basic composition of glass, how it is made, history of glass, then uses of glass, what are the uses, where it can be used, and the formation of glass. Everything we are going to cover in this topic. Then the next, and also I'm going to give you homework also to find the prices of glass, to find the prices of plywood. There are different companies out there in market, in timber market in Pune, basically. So you need to go there and you need to do market survey of all of these, so that you will get to know more knowledge about all those things. Then the next is paint. Again, there are different companies for paints. You must be aware of it, right? There are Asian paints, then the next is Nerolac, and many more. So these are actually brands. They are selling their product in market, but we are not going to study them. We are going to study different types of paints like oil paints or water based paints, so or polishes, and what are their uses, what are their advantages, disadvantages, um, all these things, external grade, interior grade, different types of paints out there. So we are going to study all of these one by one. Then the next is electrification. So electrification, where do you need electrification? We need it in our house, in offices, in commercial places, in restaurants, everywhere. In We need electrification, right? So looping, making of layouts, making of drawings, what drawings contain, the like switchboard details or looping details, or what type of wires are there, what type of electrical fittings are there, what type of legends you need to mention while making the drawing. Everything I'm going to teach you. Then the next is plumbing and sanitation. What is the plumbing? Incoming of the water is called as plumbing, and outgoing of the water is called as sanitation. As per my understanding, I'm going to tell you this. To remember these things, I remembered like this. So plumbing, wherever water comes in, like in bathrooms or in your sink or your wash basin, there the all the fittings of all those pipes, different sizes of pipes, what are the joints, all this like T joint or elbow, all these things we are going to cover in the plumbing. And again the sanitation, sizes of nanny trap or sizes of sanitation pipes, different types of sizes are. Then again your commode or your wash basin, then your bottle trap, everything, all these things we are going to cover in the sanitation topic in next lecture. Then next topic is air conditioning. Conditioning of air is known as air conditioning, isn't it? So what are the equipments? There are what is the principle behind the air conditioning? What are the types of air conditioning? What are the types of air conditioner? There are different companies out there who provide air conditioners. We are going to study that, like split air conditioner or duct air conditioner. There are different and tremendous technologies out there. It's present. We are not going to study in detail, but yeah, you should be having everything in brief knowledge. You should be having all the knowledge. Then the next is security system. So there are, wait. Then the next is security system. Security system is the last topic of basic materials. What comes under security system? You must be knowing about the CCTV cameras or biometric systems and security doors. These are having access controls, everything. So all these things comes under security system. Whatever the systems we are going to use for security purpose, all those things comes under the security system. So that's it. Then the next topic is theory of design. It is very important one. You should be knowing all the things about theory of design, because design, you are going to study interior design, right? You are not going to become a contractor only, you are going to become a designer. So for becoming a designer you must be knowing the theory of design. What is the theory of design? You should be knowing this. So for that purpose we are going to study these things, like elements of design. There are different elements of design, like point, line, etc. Then the next is alteration of elements of design. So when the basic elements of design are altered, what you get? That things we are going to study under this topic, alteration of elements of design. Then the next is principles of design. What are the principles of design? Like harmony or balance or symmetry. All these things comes under the principle of design. So all these things we are going to cover in this topic. Then the next is anthropometry. Anthropometry is nothing but the branch of science which deals with the study of measurements, that is human dimensions. So we are going to study that. First, in that, we are going to cover the topic of human dimension. Then the next is living room and kitchen and dining, and fourth is bedroom and toilet. So for that, what we need to study is what are the minimum circulation spaces needed, what are the basic heights, if what are the at what height the shower is fixed, at what height the uh, tap is fixed, at what height the geyser is fixed. All these things we are going to cover in this topic. Then the next is color scheme. So color scheme, you must be, everybody is knowing about the color scheme. We have made that circle which contains different color schemes in our school times, right? So the meaning of red, the meaning of blue, meaning of green, meaning of yellow, meaning of orange, all the theory behind the color schemes, we are going to study that also. So that's it for now. We are going to study everything about it. So if you are having any query in future, like in my future lecture, you can mail me. You can mail me on my email ID your query answer. Basically, I'm going to cover all the topics, and me and my partner are practicing interior designing in the name by the name of Space Alchemist in Pune. And recently, we are about to finish our project of restaurant. I'll be keep you posting all the photographs of it, whatever the 3D views we have made, and whatever the actual actual photographs of site where I'm going to show you all those things. So that's it for now. And if you like my video, please hit the like button and do subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Have a nice day.